7 updates on her computer. So
Okay.
I like to hear that.
what's that?
Updates being done. Very,
Yeah.
very important, everyone. I just got to reiterate, always update.
Yeah. I think that my when my iPad wants an update, or like recently I changed debit cards and it wasn't able to charge the $2.99 for Apple. I think it purposely slows down the whole system. That's just a conspiracy theory, but that's what it feels like. Or it could just be virus work.
It's been proven in court that it was a thing at one point.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Just to make small talk, I forget the guy's name, but one of the co-founders of Ethereum announced that he was sort of leaving the business because it was, quote, too risky, but it wasn't clear that he was talking about technological risk or risk to his own person. It was a little creepy.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can find it. It was just from Monday morning.
You talking about the Doge guy?
Oh, an Ethereum co-founder.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Anthony Delorio to sell Decentral and cut major ties to cryptocurrency. And it's sort of implied, quote, I'm a crypto guy and I don't want to be known as a crypto person. I want to be known as a problem solver. Concerns about his personal security figured a good 20% in his decision. Now, just to make small talk, I know that there's an enormous pipeline that goes from Western Canada down to the Great Lakes, and the owner of it used to travel with like 6 bodyguards. I don't know. I guess being rich isn't all it's cracked up to be sometimes. Security. Who wants to go first? I have some things to say, but they're probably better left to the end. From a digital standpoint, Landon, do you want to go first?
But before we start really quick, I just want to clarify that the iPhone is Jenny.
Okay.
Did anybody see that last person?
Oh, there we are. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jack. We're all here. Travis.
Good. Okay.
I just hit the wrong button.
All right. I'm out. Thanks.
Cool. See you. Bye, Mel.
Ciao.
Landon, you would sort of want to take the lead here at the beginning.
Sure. I can update everybody on where I'm at with the digital side of things. So website is ready to launch. We just got to sort out the Calendly, me and you,
Okay.
James, whenever we get a chance. But white paper's done. We're just waiting on Albert to clean up your email. Make sure you have a brunocrypto.io email as well. As I'm getting all this stuff together, like we've finalized the logo, we finalized the DAO symbol and all of that. Where would be a good place for everybody to access that if they need it? Would that be Slack or just share a Google Drive with everybody? What would be best?
Slack's fine, I think.
Yeah.
Most of us are.
I think
Yeah,
Slack.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll make a marketing channel and add everybody to it, and I'll just shove all the stuff that I've done in there.
Okay.
So you're gonna have access to the logos and white papers, whatever you need.
Cool.
We definitely got to spruce up your TikTok profile, clean up the username, put the link tree in there so you can start call to action people booking with you and getting consultations, things like that. And I think that's the horizon at this point. After that, I'm sure there's more work to do, but at this point.
Okay. I'll go next, just dovetailing on that. For the last couple of years, I had this tension between, am I going to launch something that's local, that sort of grew out of Ligonier Capital? That was my RIA that was registered in 2011. And at the same time, I wanted to do this purely digital strategy, which is now Bruno. And of course, we're riding, surfing the wave of digital assets and so forth. And there's like a tension between those two, because if you walk down the street and talk to people about crypto, they're going to say something like, you mean that Bitcoin thing? You know, they just don't have, you have to sort of go where people already have some interest or introduction to it and so forth. And TikTok has been a way for us to do that. However, 90% sure I've made the decision yesterday that at the same time we launch this, I am also going to launch back to a regional or local office. And what I think we'll do is we'll have like 2 shingles hanging out. I'm going to hang out the Ligonier Capital shingle to start. That'll allow me to also generate cash flow locally, which, you know, pays the bills and so forth. But then probably within 6 months, maybe at the first of the year, we'll just replace that with Bruno. And enough people now are following me locally that Ashley, for example, she was at a family picnic and she said she met like her uncle who's like watched every one of my videos and he's like a big fan. It was like completely unsolicited. Somehow she mentioned it. She's like, yeah, I watch that guy all the time. It's great. So it's working, you know, we're getting some momentum. I'll also tell you that I reached out to somebody of means locally, and in very short order said, we're raising $4 million. That's roughly 1% of the DAO squared token is 1.5 million, roughly times 2, and that brings us $3 or $4 million, right? So he said, and this is the answer, the question I was looking for. He said, how much are you looking for? And I said, ideally 400,000, but I said, actually 100,000 right now. So between that and a raise with, what's his name? A gentleman by the name of Rob Yeichner, who's going to do something real close to $100,000 with his Roth IRA. Unfortunately, he just got COVID. So he was sort of out of the loop for about a week, but he emailed me yesterday and he's going to try to get back on the shtick and help us keep things moving, which sort of leads me to Jack. Jack, we need capital, don't we, to make some transactions on Uniswap to stir the pot, so to speak.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been pretty silent on the Uniswap front. I'm working on a video that will at least kind of like, we can at least put up that would introduce me and then would also lead to a video where I can explain how to actually buy DAO off Uniswap.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's the best option. Also introducing another, again, the whole, you know, people are saying that we're gonna be rug pullers, you know, we need to dispel that. So definitely think adding another face is.
And you're moving in the theme of Bruno by taking a lot of people that are maybe, I'm sure there's some people that listen to us that are active traders or they're on, you know, some of them have an interest in Uniswap, but they're probably just a step away from actually, you know, unless they're at the front of that curve. So you showing them how this works, and it is really a well executed system. I mean, the user interface is very nice and so forth.
It's really clean. So that's something where I think it won't be a struggle. I think my own parents could even work Uniswap, work MetaMask and Uniswap to.
I'll just say that I know this is going to go on YouTube and not a lot of people are going to see it, but I just listened to, I use the name Raoul Paul. He's the guy from Real Vision. He was he was interviewed by Camila Russo. She has a podcast called The Defiant. And he said Ethereum is the biggest trade there is right now. He's 100%. You understand, this is a big global macro hedge fund guy. He has no equity. He has no other holdings other than digital assets. And Ethereum is his biggest holding. And he just makes points like from 1990 to 2000, the internet grew at 63%. And digital assets are growing at 165% per year. So the space is just growing unlike anything that's ever been seen. So I was tied all that together to say this. For people who really have the intestinal fortitude, Dow Squared is a very interesting investment right now. And so is the combination on Uniswap of that trading pool that's Ethereum plus Ethereum 2x. And as I was looking at your email yesterday, Jack, that came up and I was like, wow. I mean, we're under where are we at today on Ethereum? And we're just like 2.5 weeks from 1559. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is driving these prices, but could be that there's a lot of leverage and people are just getting blown out. But yeah, we're at 1755. I mean, have that leverage of that 2x as part of your liquidity pool. If you really have the guts to do it, you know, now's the time to make those bigger commitments, those stronger decisions on your trading. Anyways, I'm digressing. Just in general, Jack, like if I said, hey, Jack, let's make a farm DAO this afternoon, like really, like what's your, like how difficult is it? Like, does it take you an hour or is it like clicking 6?
Yeah, it's really just defining all the parameters. Again, I'm a little hesitant to like pump these out without having the underlying.
We need capital.
Yeah, but it's something where at least now to issue them as I'm hesitant to use the word placeholder, but to issue them as something as, again, tokens and as a stake in a future organization and endeavor that it's not difficult to get them going.
I think in short order we're going to have one of these investors will come, and when that happens, Jack, I'm going to call you and I'm going to say, go. We'll make a plan of attack of like what to do. But if you had the ETH to throw in the pool, and then if you make that video, I'll do a Sunday afternoon where I say like, look, people, if you're really into crypto and you really understand, I keep trying to do these, especially on Sundays, I try to do this thing like Ethereum, Uniswap, Bruno. Like we want to be like in that, you know, sort of like Elvis, the Beatles, Led Zeppelin or something. Like you're trying to be, you know, like your forebears who, you know, made something that you're following in the footsteps of. Again, not to repeat myself, but you know, for the interview with Raoul Paul was like an hour long, and for 20 minutes of it, he's talking about social capital. I mean, which is what we are doing, right? I actually just looked at my phone. I had like Bruno and social capital and all this stuff like in the notes of my phone from a year ago, April. So that was like 18 months ago. So here we are. It's fun. Travis, the next big part is if we get, you know, fuel is the same time Jack goes, you know, and just starts making pizza, as we like to say. How difficult is it to get on Masari and CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko?
So I'm still waiting to hear back from CoinGecko and Masari. CoinMarketCap actually did get back, and they had a couple pointers, basically saying you just need a bit more volume on an exchange. You need a functional website.
Did they give?
Pardon?
Did they give us like a target number for volume?
No, actually, they were pretty vague with it, so I'm not exactly sure. I can, once the website's live, and I can ask Jack a couple questions with these. I think they're asking for a couple like technical things that may have not provided. So I'll run it over with Jack and make sure we have all that, and then
Okay.
get back to them and go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool.
Just, yeah, let me know what, anything you need.
Cheers, Jack.
Hey, Albert, how you doing? Are you in LA?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I am in LA this week, and then I'll still be in California for the week after. But I hadn't shown my face for a while, so I figured I gotta pop in and say hello.
Good.
Hello.
How's the motorcycle?
I've got to take it apart, or it'll kill me for sure. Hey, I know there were some issues going on with the emails internally, some access issues. I don't want to, don't need to spend time on those in here, but if somebody wants to like, I think Jim, you're locked out of something. You can just send me the details of what you don't have access to.
I'm the old guy in the room. Problem is like, no, Jim, you don't authenticate your iPad with your iPad. You authenticate your iPad with your cell phone. Like just basic shit. So Ashley and I sat down, and it took us 5 minutes and we got through it. And I was like, and I did the exact same thing 10 days before with a different authenticator. I was like opening up the authenticator on the iPad to authenticate the iPad. And I was like, no, dumbass, it's on your phone. So, all right.
Cool.
I
Okay,
can't say-
it's good to know. That's good.
I'm not
Then there was
just, I'm sorry.
there was a domain we're trying to get rid of, funds everywhere, I think. So I want to just go through. I want to, if it's okay with you, log into that mailbox and then make sure that there's no traffic going to there. And I don't think GoDaddy natively supports importing or exporting email, so I'll have to get a little bit creative. But I'll get online with their support and see if I can pull all the content out of there, dump it into crypto.
It's a bitch because every time you tweak the brand or the URL, like everything else has to follow with it. So that's been
I'll try to take care of that today, so we can just like kill Bruno Funds and not have it exist in any form. So I'll touch back on that later today in Slack. I'll post an update.
okay. So going around the horn, Lyle, I'll have you know that we're opening a Gemini institutional account. I filled out the application. They responded back. We'll probably keep sort of a minimal amount of ETH in Jack's wallet. We'll keep some ETH in the exchange on Uniswap in the pool to give it, probably to start, we'll have Jack, I don't know how to say this correctly. It's not that we're trying to manipulate the price, but you're allowed to create your own volume, right? Stock companies buy back their own stock all the time. So we can just go in and like buy, if it hits 5 cents, we can buy it and move ETH sort of in and out of it. But as we start to take in bigger amounts of capital, it's all going to go right in cold storage with Gemini.
Yep.
So we don't need to recreate all these, we don't need to compete with, I think Gemini's taken in like $300 million of venture capital money. I mean, we don't need to like be a hero, just use what's already there. It's not really the business model. We're not trying to be a trading platform. We're not trying to be a custodian. We're not trying to be cold storage. There's other really good companies that have done that, done a great job at it. So,
my advice on that is you do not utilize your normal day-to-day email, keep that disassociated from the login and any of the custodianship operations of that funds. Keep the marketing, personal, and everything totally separate for security reasons. Just because, try to, even though it's one of the lowest forms of security through obscurity does help. So keeping that disassociated, keeping whatever that contact, email, phone number, and such off of, we don't want that communicated over any of these recorded channels that are published publicly.
Okay. Sunday, I was on for 4 hours. We had 3,000 people. I don't know, you know, most of them are on for like a minute or 90 seconds but I was on for 4 hours, and when I clicked the button at the end, there were still 85 people listening to me. So clearly we've struck a nerve. When I solicited this investment and I brought that up, you know, when you say 13,500 followers, people are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, really. So people know that it's for real, that we have something here. I think focusing on the DAOs that actually will do something. Professor Susan Shamian is sort of a friend of the family's friend of mine that I've known for a long time. She's had some health issues, but I spoke to her last week. And she's somebody who's very, very articulate. She's a great writer. She could take up a farm DAO project and just immediately, you know, start putting narratives together about how this would work. I think I'm going to focus on that a little bit going forward. Jenny and I continue to talk about a women's DAO, but also now we have some, you know, action and prices of crypto going down like this, so close to this 1559. I can sort of put the advisory hat back on too and be like, look, people, like, if you ever wanted to buy, in fact, I was thinking about it laying in bed last night. For some reason, I think I get a lot of traction just when people are scrolling through just by what the picture looks like of me, you know, like in front of the Trump house, you know, it's just like a lot of people don't even know that that thing exists, right? And it's like 4 miles away. So it's just such an easy backdrop. But the other one that's like that is I think I get a lot of eyeballs with this. I look like a news anchor with Jim Cramer right over my shoulder. And let me just indulge me a second and let's see. Because we had a nice little sell-off yesterday. Yeah, that got 5,000 views. So, and I didn't really say anything profound. I just said, hey, the fucking market's down. But I think that image, that if you can see that, I think that image is like really a good one to do at the end of the day. And it's easy. I just like pull that green screen in and like run it to mouth for a couple minutes. But I was even thinking about doing like showing what the stock market did that day, making a couple comments about it, then right underneath, just showing the Ethereum market cap. Like I looked at it last night, you know, Apple has like a $1.7 trillion market cap. I mean, it's just like mind blowing. And Ethereum's at 200 billion again. You know, it was on its way. It peaked at about 500 billion. And, you know, I think it's going to 2 trillion. So that's 10x from here. So I can start acting a little bit like an advisor again, especially as I start to get this Calendly thing set back up, get the registered investment advisor squared away. We have to go through the process once a year of validating the administrators with FINRA, et cetera. So we work with a company that's part of Interactive Brokers called Greenwich Compliance. And a nice woman named Irene is helping me with that. Just a little background. I don't know any other big hanging chads that we have to deal with right now. We could maybe keep this one short because they tend to go on a bit. I think, Travis, you had the idea of me doing a YouTube video that's more formal so that when people come to that, they see all this and it's, you know, it's a real electronic meeting of the minds, but something that's sort of like introduced is they're not on TikTok. YouTube to me is more of a mainstream channel. It's more, you know, doesn't have the growth of TikTok, but you know, it's something like my mom would find a YouTube video and watch it, right? She's not going to get on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right.
And just if people had any other confusions or like questions about the project, they could just go to this one video. It's on our YouTube page with all our other information in our meetings. I think it would just be a really nice, clean resource.
Is there a way to put one like at the top or like, you know?
Yeah, so when you come to a specific page, you can make like a specific, you can link the video that you want to be the intro one. So it would be super easy to do that.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Cool.
I'll knock that out. Anything else? Landon and I are sort of thinking about how we all work together. And you know, it's worked out very, very well. Like everybody wears their own hat. Like Albert has helped me like with the sort of the seminal website URL shit for the last year and a half or whatever it's been. It's, you know, it's wonderful that Lyle appeared just when we needed him to talk about security. Travis, you've done a good job of like just fleshing out some of the narratives, just because my head is like in a weird space where I'm trying to create TikTok videos and think about regulations, and it's sort of hard to wear all those different hats. But I said to Landon last week, you know, everything we do, even the security, just like Lyle talked about, even the tokenization on Uniswap, even the interface with our use of Gemini and all of that, you know, the final presentation is all digital, right? It's a digital brand, it's a digital business, it's digital, we're doing digital assets. So, you know, one guy is like the producer, has like the last fit and finish of that. And I think that's going to be what Landon does. So we'll be structured a little bit like that. And we'll probably have that finalized sometime in August. Also, we haven't talked about it much more, but now that I'm opening this office, part of that process is we keep joking that we want to make a digital Edward Jones. But literally, as I open this little office, and you'll see it's a really cute. It looks like it's from the 19th century. It's like old stone and brick and wood and shit. I love all that stuff. So we'll make the sort of the collateral, the real world collateral, like signage, cards, like the basic stuff you need for a real live office. And then we can start recruiting people and say, like, look, if you want to build one of these in San Antonio, here's all the collateral. Landon will give you the email addresses, and then Mel would work on getting licensed and so forth. And so that's something we'll probably at the end of the year, if we build all these DAOs and keep generating this like snowball effect of followers, you know, we can start to recruit people who are interested in not just investing, but also delivering advice and being representatives, literally being investment advisor representatives. That's what they're called, IARs. And that just requires a Series 65. So that's probably later in the fall that we'll really start. I intend to open this office. Albert, it's funny, the office that you helped me open end of 2011, I'm just like 2 doors down. So it's literally like Ligonier Capital, like 6.0 or something like that.
I pass by there all the time.
Yep. Anyways, why don't we leave it there? We'll keep these about, you know, less than half an hour, so people actually watch them if they want. And anything else pressing? Cool. All right, guys. Have a nice week. We'll catch you Thursday.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.